Hi, my name is Delaney Gentry. This is my video project for my Sociology 163 class. I chose my topic on gender inequality. This is a huge topic for me and something I will stand up for the rest of my life, or until I don't have to anymore, until it's just a common norm to have gender equality rights. I hope that one day my daughter and my granddaughter and my great-granddaughter, this is an issue that they don't have to worry about. But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to fight it for them. So hopefully in the future they won't have to. For this project, I will primarily be focusing on gender inequality through sports. Athletics have been a huge part of my life. They've been at least 75% of my life, maybe even more than that. I've spent all of my time on a field, on a court, at practice, at a game, at a tournament, watching a game, doing something, anything revolving around a sport. From my very small town, I've done a lot. I've done just about every sport that's been offered in my area. As I got older, I primarily focused on volleyball and softball, but growing up, I did it all. And I've loved every moment of it. I never regretted a single thing that I've ever done. Being in athletics as long as I have has really pushed me to become the competitive woman that I am today. And I do believe that, because of my competitiveness and my abilities to participate in sports, really had helped me achieve to be the woman I am today. I'm confident, I'm strong, I'm very well built, I'm not ashamed of anything. I can go out there and have as much confidence as the next person beside me. I know how to win like a good sport, and I know how to lose like a good sport. Those are skills that I'm going to need all throughout my life. There are going to be moments where I'm going to be on top of the world, and there's not going to be anything that can bring me down until there is that one thing that brings me down, and I'm going to have to learn how to suck it up and to be a and to learn to not be a sore loser, excuse me. But I have that skills. I've had those skills for a very long time, for the majority of my life. And I believe that those are skills that all children should have. All children should have the experience of participating in some sort of sport. Though unfortunately we do have gender inequality still throughout sports today. Though it's improved throughout history, we've come a very long ways from women not even being able to watch a sport to now, women are at the Olympics and winning gold medals and setting world records. And it's just come such a long way, but it's just shocking how far we still have to go. In this video, I will be focusing primarily on gender inequalities from about what I call a little league, which is about ages 7 to 14, all the way up to a collegiate professional level, because we do see the gender inequalities and stereotypes all throughout these age levels. Starting with little league, as I stated before, these are ages from 7 to 14, kind of depending on your area. The earlier ages, these are more of like your YMCA sports, your local youth club sports. There's not a lot of school activity at this point, though. As you do get older and you do progress to that 13, 14 years old, you do see more school participation through sports through a school district. Generally, the lower the age, the less competitive it is, and the higher the age, the more competitive it is. And this is just general. This is general for all sports and everything you do. Generally, the beginners are out there learning the skills and the techniques, while as you get older and you've started to master those techniques, you are expected to be more competitive and want to improve yourself. In the little league sports, this is about the time when children are starting to interact more with each other at school. And this is really when the gender inequalities, when the gender stereotypes really start to kick in. Peers are starting to spend more time around one another. And this is really a time where bullying can be at a peak. Nicknames like a tomboy and tomgirl, girly girl, gay, fag, stuff like that is just really hardcore at these ages. Because they are ruthless at this age. I think everyone's gone through a bully stage. Whether they were the bully or they were the one having the bullying done to them, I think we've all experienced this in some sort of way. As I mentioned before, the older the age group, the more competitive it becomes, and this is really the time when it's more junior high sport, when it's considered a junior high sport. I'm not sure what it's like in other bigger school districts, but I'm coming from a very small school district where we did have junior high and high school in the same building. This is off of my experiences from the junior high to high school perspective. But in this time as a junior higher, you're really starting to want to fit in. You really want to have that one dependent friend group. And a lot of people will do just about anything to fit in. Unfortunately, this could include quitting the sport they love because they don't want to be viewed as. This is a time when you really want to fit in with your friends and you really would do anything to fit in with them, um, even if it means quitting something that you particularly enjoy being in. Um, like I mentioned before, bullying can be at an all-time peak at this time. Um, Names being thrown around, specifically for females, tomboy, girly girl. Being too masculine is a bad thing. Uh, being overly excited, being overly competitive, being overly just about anything as a female at this age group can be frowned upon. Um, a lot of girls at this age really are insecure about their bodies. This is also the time when puberty begins to start. Girls are starting to become very insecure. Um, and this is the time when girls are more likely to drop out of sports than any other time in their lives. Um, what females are too worried about being, as I mentioned, too masculine, want to keep their feminine stature. They don't want to be too thick. They don't want to be, I've heard the term thunder thighs. They don't want to have thunder thighs. They don't want to have big thighs. They don't want to have big butts. They don't want to have, the broad shoulders, muscular bodies. That's a bad thing for some of these junior hires, and they don't want to be seen as that. This next commercial that I'm going to show you guys here soon, you really see just the effect that some of these girls in this age group really have when it comes to trying to fit in, when it comes to trying to overcome some of the stereotypes that are really drilled into these children's head through classmates. The media is a huge influence on especially girls at this age, trying to tell them that what they have isn't good enough, that what has been given to them is seen as imperfect and it needs to be fixed. And here's a product on how to fix it. You'll especially see that in this next commercial.
Time for a makeover?
Hide your flaws with our new.
Are your abs bikini ready?
What guys with 1,000 makeup products?
Are you ready for swimsuit season? Find the perfect jeans.
How to dress like a star. 900 tips for your best
10
workout.
workouts to drop 10 hats.
When society bombards them with messages like these, it's no wonder that by age 14, girls drop out of sport at twice the rate boys do. Don't let them walk away from their potential.
I really enjoyed that commercial when I found it. I thought it perfectly summed up what it's like trying to be a junior high, middle school age girl during this time, and how intimidating the world can seem and how easy it can seem to just give in and to be the perfect girl that society wants you to be. Though as you could see at the very end, the frustration of the girl left on the soccer field with watching her teammates walk away, that was a frustration I had all throughout my junior high, early high school career, were girls that would work so hard and quit because they gave in to peer pressure. It was very frustrating because to me, I could never think of someone else controlling my life like that. But these girls just gave in so easily, and that frustration is very real for a lot of female athletes. Now, as we enter into the high school era, which is about ages 15 to 18, female athletes still see those gender inequalities throughout their sports. Now, as we get older, we do see that more females are encouraged to participate in feminine sports such as tennis and golf and volleyball and cheerleading, and those are encouraged to female athletes. But the encouragement to participate in more physically demanding sports such as basketball or football or baseball or softball are just seen as not as mandatory as for a female athlete, which always kind of blew my mind that we separated sports by gender and how intense and how good you can be at them. Because I know for my high school volleyball team, we were the meanest, roughest bunches of girls around, but yet we were still seen as this feminine group of girls who just like to hit a volleyball over the net. Like many great cheerleaders who spend a lot of their time working out and staying strong and staying physically fit, yet it's still seen as that easy feminine sport. I haven't spoken much about gender inequalities through male athletes, through male sports. From the beginning of time, as I mentioned, sports were seen as just a masculine kind of thing. Females were just supposed to be spectators, or were just supposed to have dinner ready on the table when they got home. It's a very new concept that female athletes are even a thing. So with men, there aren't as many gender stereotypes, gender inequalities, but there are some. I know that men are generally seen to be, they're supposed to be masculine. They're supposed to be these big, strong, bold men. And when they're not, they're gay, they're feminine, they're a girly girl. And I know male athletes who participate in feminine sports, as I discussed before, the feminine sports that only girls can play. And, they're just seen as not as manly, like they're less of a man than the one who goes to play football. Most young men during this time, especially throughout high school, are still going through puberty. I know that's really hard to think of. We always think of puberty as being a little middle school problem, but there are some boys who don't finish going through puberty until their final stages of high school. There are some men who are still very slender and very thin and still have what they call a baby face. Not gonna bulk up as much as their other teammates, and that can be seen as a degrading thing, as a very feminine thing to have a very slender body. I know many male athletes, if they're not a starting athlete, if they're not that star quarterback or the star point guard, a lot of male athletes at this time really tend to drop out because they are made fun of for not being the star athlete. If you are a bench warmer, that is seen as a very degrading concept. And I know a bunch of athletes, instead of sticking with it and improving and keep continuing to get better every year, will just simply quit because it's easier that way. Though no matter the gender, both still experience one very similar insult.
You play ball like a girl!
Like it's a bad thing, because it's not. And that's what I want to really pursue in this world, is to make being like a girl not a bad thing. And though I've kind of split it up to kind of fit time restraints, you can still see how in the beginning, being like a girl is just like anything else you do in your entire life. And then as we get older, it kind of gets askew, and we think that doing anything like a girl is a bad thing.
Hi, Erin.
Hi.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
This commercial has been on TV a lot lately, and I really love that it is, because it really does show how twisted and messed up our perception of being like a girl gets as we age. And I really hope that someday being like a girl is a compliment. Male athletes are twice as likely to receive scholarships than female athletes are. And due to the low participation rate of high school female athletes, there's an even lower percentage of collegiate female athletes that go on to continue their athletic career. The chances of making it professional are very slim, no matter your gender. However, more males have the opportunity to continue on with their professional sports. This is because male sports are seen as more competitive, more interesting to watch, and more than likely will be viewed by the public eye. And more female athletes, more female professional sports are viewed as annoying by the public eye. A great example of this would be the NBA versus the WNBA. Particularly in my house, we watch the NBA probably more than anyone. I can't tell you the last time we watched the WNBA. And when it is on, there's a comment from my brother or father about just the annoyingness of the WNBA, as if there are any more athletes than the male athletes are. But it's just the way that the public views it. Male professional athletes are also paid a significantly higher amount than female athletes are. In fact, the lowest paying NBA player is still getting paid more than the highest paid WNBA player. And part of that is due to the fact that networking for the NBA is much higher than the WNBA, but still. In fact, and it's that way with most sports out there. The only sport that this is an exception to is tennis. And that's according to Forbes magazine. In fact, tennis is the only sport where female athletes make it on Forbes' World 100 highest paid athletes list. To me, there's a lot that we can do about this. We, as in the younger college generation, the next generation that's going to be raising America, we can start by getting rid of gender stereotypes, getting rid of you throw like a girl insults, and encourage our young athletes to become strong and independent people, and that it's okay to be strong. It's okay to be independent. It's okay to be the best athlete that you can be.